In this video, I'm going to be explaining how I went from looking like this to this at home with very minimal equipment. On my journey I've tried many things and I've learnt a lot. Stick around to the end of the video to avoid my mistakes and speed up your progress.
I can go faster!
It all started when I went to my cousin's house. He had a chin-up bar and my dad and I thought it would be cool to get one. I had seen movies such as Rocky and I was at a point in my life where I was getting into self-improvement. I thought having muscles and being strong had no disadvantages, and if anyone else could do it, then so could I. At the beginning, I started with bodyweight and I only had a pull-up bar, but I was too weak to even do one pull-up. I knew I wanted to work out, but I didn't really have a routine or a program. I was a bit lost. Then I stumbled across Igor Voitenko's programs for free.
What's up guys, my name is Igor Voitenko.
And they were pretty good and I like him and he helped me a lot, but these are really just for beginners. I think if you're looking to, well, eventually look like him or better, you're gonna have to change it up after a while, but these are decent routines, and if you're a beginner I would recommend them. One problem I have with these routines is I don't think they're very balanced, because there's a heavy emphasis on abs and getting that summer body, but I think the back can be quite, and also the legs a bit, can be neglected, because if this is just purely body weight, no pull-up bar or anything, the back exercises are far inferior to pushing exercises, because you can do like push-ups with no weights or any equipment and you can get like a pretty good challenge depending, and you can do it with like one leg, and there's different variations to make it harder. Whereas with back, it's a lot harder to progressively overload. That's why I'd recommend anyone who can't get to a gym to get a pull-up bar, because I believe it's the best piece of equipment you can get, as your back training at home is probably going to be the most neglected, hardest thing to train. So I did 3 of his routines, from 0 to 100, ultimate summer physique, and 5-week aesthetic body. And the good thing about these routines is there's a lot of rest, especially in from 0 to 100 and 5 weeks aesthetic body, which you might like the sound of. But the reason for that is I think this can be good if you're a beginner, because your muscles aren't used to being used in this way. So I remember having a lot of soreness, so a lot of rest is important for that. And also you want to make sure you're eating enough protein and calories to help your body recover and grow back stronger. All of them are fairly similar, so if you're working out at home then and you're not sure what to do, I recommend giving them a try. But I think over time you should build your own routine, like I did, where maybe if you check out my other video with the different splits, maybe push-pull legs, and you decide which like follow along videos or which exercises are best for you, give you the best connection, because everyone's body is different and you're gonna enjoy some exercises more than others, so don't feel restrained to a certain routine if it's not really working for you. But I'll also be looking to bring out some free routines soon. At the beginning I was training abs a lot. I think this is partly because of the routines I was following, but also because I thought having a six-pack would be cool. And now here's the thing I've come up with. I think the longer someone's in fitness, the less they care about abs, because you see a lot of people who don't work out, the muscles they ask about are six-pack, abs and biceps. And you see a lot of guys who, no offense, but look like twigs already, and they're shredding for summer because they want to get six-pack abs, and I just don't think it's really healthy or optimal for your whole muscle growth, because you're only focusing on abs, and also if you're constantly trying to shred and lose weight, it's going to be hard for you to build muscle out elsewhere. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on abs, you can check out my video, The Truth About Abs, one of these corners. Then I found some of my dad's old dumbbells and eventually got a bench. Sure, these things help, but you don't need them to make progress at the beginning or at all. As I started to create my own routine, I started trying out different workouts from different channels, and then I found Anabolic Aliens, and now let me tell you, this channel is an absolute lifesaver for anyone who works at home. Mike Rosa is absolute legend.
Oh yeah, aliens.
He's got all sorts of workout videos and stretching videos on there that you can do at home. He's got body weight only ones, he's got resistance band ones, pull-up bar ones, dumbbell ones, plate ones, and also some gym workouts as well. So I definitely recommend checking out his channel. One thing his channel taught me is that if we're working out at home, we really need to be reaching that high intensity to force muscle growth. And one of the best ways to do that is with explosive movements and also using very little rest times, because the 4 ways to progressively overload are more volume, so doing more sets and reps, and also perhaps training that muscle group more times throughout the week. Time under tension, so how you actually do the rep. So if you're going down slower for the bicep curl, it's putting more strain on your muscle, more weight in a specific set, which adds more challenge, and less rest. So what we can do at home is have less rest, have more time under tension, train more intensely, and have higher frequency. So you can go with any of these, but personally I prefer the first two because you only have a certain amount of days and you want to be trying to hit each muscle group at least twice a week. And if you don't want your workouts to be like 3 hours long, because say you're training each muscle like 3 times a week, with body weight, because you need more volume, like it takes longer, you need more sets because you don't have as heavy weight. So if you want to keep your workouts a reasonable length, then I would focus on the first two and maybe not train each muscle group 3 or 4 times a week, because that's going to be a lot, and that can also lead to recovery issues, because if you're training your muscle groups like 3 or 4 times a week, your central nervous system's probably just going to be fried and you're not going to have any energy to do anything because you're doing so much exercise. Another guy I came across is Bully Juice. I haven't done as many of his routines, but they seem good, and he's a very motivational guy. I think he's doing great, so he's also worth checking out. I'll be bringing out another video which has all of my favourite at-home routines to help you guys out who are only working out at home, to try and get you the most gains as possible, get in the best shape of your life. Now I'm going to take you through what my current at-home routine looks like. So right now I'm running a push-pull leg split twice a week. So push, pull legs, push, pull legs, don't know what's going on with my hand, and then a break, and then repeat. So on a typical push day, I do lots of variations of types of push-ups, increasing the reps or sets each time. So normal push-ups, wide push-ups, incline, decline, and then I also do shoulder presses, front raises for the front delts, then I do side raises for the side delts. And then another thing you can try is lean in and out from a door frame to hit different parts of the side delt. So if you lean in, then there's more of a focus on the upper part of the motion, and if you lean out, then there's a greater emphasis on the lower part of the motion. I also like to throw in a drop set at the end of side raises. And then for pull day, I do Eugene Tio's pull-up routine.
Next, you can start to add in extra sets, going from 6 sets of 3 to 7 sets of 3, then 8 sets, then 9 sets, and finally 10 sets of 3 for a total of 30 reps. Now, once you can achieve 10 sets of 3 reps, then you can retest your pull-up strength, and you'll find that you're able to handle more reps in one set.
Which I find has been very good for increasing my pull-up numbers. And then recently I've been doing the trap Y raise for the lower traps, which I saw from the knees over toes guy, which is very good for the mid-back. And then I also like to do rear delt rows or rear delt flies and bicep curls, and then a dead hang usually at the end on the pull-up bar. I sometimes throw in a dumbbell forearm routine as well. And then for legs I do ATG split squats, which are good for your knees and help to put a lot more tension on one side. Also do pistol squats, because again putting more of your body weight on one leg. Then also do hip raises, where you can use a belt or a tie to attach a dumbbell to your foot. There are much fancier technologies like the monkey foot, but if you don't want to buy that, you can just use a tie or a belt, because hips are often undertrained. And then hamstring heel curl on the bench, put the dumbbell between your feet and curl it up. And then I like to do a superset usually with tibialis raises, soleus raises and calf raises, so that really pumps up the lower leg and helps develop a balanced lower leg, because the calf's usually very overdeveloped. And then the anabolic aliens bodyweight quad routine, I do that and find that's very effective. It's very challenging for the mind and body, but I think that's probably the single routine which grew my quads. Also been experimenting with the Nordic hamstring curl with using a belt or a tie to tie my legs down to the bench and then curl out from there. You can also try and do it under a bed, but my bed doesn't really work with it because it's too high. And you can also buy a strap on the door, which I was looking at getting, but that is a very good exercise just for your hamstrings and general athletic performance and speed. So the key takeaways are: try and build a fully rounded physique, all the muscles, because otherwise you're going to end up with imbalances and it's just not fun time. Also, don't just focus on abs and try and shred for summer, which is kind of linked to balanced physique. And also at home you need to be hitting that high intensity, and I'd recommend the best way to do that is and lower rest, and trying to overload your body, for example by doing one-legged squats where you can, explosive movements. Thanks if you made it this far. On my channel I'll continue to condense and synthesize my knowledge to help you save time and energy by sharing what I've learned. Although I'm going to the gym more often now, I hope I can be a source of motivation and a guide of how to build muscle at home. Although it can be hard, it's possible. I'm proof of that.
Stay with me. Stay with me.